Hi, this is Pastor Troy New Year of St. Peter's Lutheran Church in Shaker Heights, Ohio, coming at you again finally with a midweek recap of last Sunday's message. And now first, I apologize. It's been so long since I've uploaded one of these videos. Life has gotten crazy and busy at times, and I just have backburnered it, honestly. And also today, I apologize especially that I don't appear to be fully ready for this. I'm wearing my fleece. I don't even have my collar on. You see I'm in the office, and then that sort of thing. The reason for that is frankly that today my wife is not feeling well. There's some kids at home that aren't sick, and so I'm just spending a lot of time shuttling back and forth, going to the grocery store, getting medicine, getting Gatorade, taking the older kids to work, things like that. All the things that my wife would normally be able to do that today she's not able to because she doesn't feel well. And I guess the reason I say those things is not to blow my own horn and make it sound like what a great guy I am, but actually I think it fits a little bit into what I want to talk about for the message for today. See, last Sunday we read from the Gospel of Matthew in chapter 25, that great story about the end day, the last day, the judgment day, when Jesus returns and he judges the sheep and the goats. Now, he judges the sheep and the goats, the wicked and the righteous. And what he says there is this: "For I was hungry, and you gave me food. I was thirsty, and you gave me drink. I was a stranger, and you welcomed me. I was naked, and you clothed me. I was sick, and you visited me. I was in prison, and you came to me." And then the righteous will answer him, saying, "Lord, when did we see you hungry and feed you, or thirsty and give you drink? And when did we see you a stranger and welcome you, or naked and clothe you? And when did we see you sick or in prison and visit you?" And the king will answer them, "Truly I say to you, as you did it to one of the least of these my brothers, you did it to me." And sometimes we read those verses and we think that what Jesus is really judging is in what we do. As you did it to one of the least of these my brothers, you did it for me. And even we as Christians can become very afraid that maybe we haven't done enough. Maybe we haven't done the right things. Maybe we haven't done enough of the right things. But the thing we need to understand is that Matthew chapter 25 is at the tail end of 2-3 chapters of Jesus talking in one long, extended, connected discourse. He talks about hypocrisy. He talks about the last day. He talks about the judgment of hypocrisy on the last day. Now, earlier in chapter 3, he specifically mentions the hypocrites, those who claim to be followers of God but have no love except for themselves in their own hearts. And he speaks to them and he says that everything they do is done to be seen by men. See, that's not true service. That's not true service. Jesus Christ doesn't serve us that way. He doesn't come to earth and live his life and die on the cross with one eye on heaven, making sure that the Father sees him and knows what he's doing so he can be rewarded. But rather, Jesus Christ sees your need. He sees my need. And in loving service, he gives us the very thing that we lack, that we cannot provide for ourselves. He gives us what we need. And in Matthew chapter 25, what he's really judging is not whether or not we have done these things, but whether or not we have believed upon him and then been transformed by his Spirit. So in other words, whether or not we have his Spirit in our hearts. And if we have his Spirit in our hearts through faith, through being baptized into his name, through belief in him and his word and his promises. So if we have his Spirit in our hearts, then we tend to serve a lot like he does. See, God doesn't need our service. One of the ways we talk about service is that, we provide something for someone else that they lack. God doesn't lack anything that he would need our service, but our neighbor does. So when we serve like Christ, we don't do it with one eye looking to God and making sure that God sees us so he knows we're being good, he knows we're being sheep. But when we serve with the heart of Christ, that simply looks at our neighbor, sees what they need, and in loving service we provide for them. As we do this, it's true. Jesus does look at us, and he sees people who have been transformed by his very Spirit. In so doing, in being transformed by his Spirit, we are declared righteous. I'm Pastor Troy Neer of St. Peter's Lutheran Church in Shaker Heights, Ohio, wishing you a very blessed weekend, and I hope to see you in church on Sunday. God's peace be with you.